Good afternoon. When it comes to injuries, there'll be a number of guys that won't be practicing today, and we'll see exactly how they operate as the week progresses. So we have Mason Taylor, Xavier Newman, Isaiah Davis, Brees, Stiggs, Michael Clemens, and Joe Tippmann. Again, those guys won't be practicing today, and again, we'll see how the week goes, see how they operate. When it comes to this game, I mean, obviously, we don't have to talk about their personnel. Obviously, we know who their guys are, and we know how this team operates. Again, they have a really good record. They're going to the playoffs, and it gives us another chance to play against a good playoff team. The things that I am looking at and looking forward to, number one, seeing how we operate against this playoff team, but to continue to improve on some of the things that's been emphasized from the beginning of the year. Going to this date, and then we have to improve on some things that I don't think that we are as good in. And number one is defense, and two is our passing game on offense. I like what our running game is. I like how we operate on special teams. I like the fact that we took down the penalties for the past 2 years. We were last in the league, and we're somewhere in the middle of the pack right now. Those are some things that I do like. So there have been some improvements with this team, and we're going to continue to try to improve on those things while we're also trying to improve on the weaknesses that we have. So that's been the focus, will be the focus this week to make sure we do that. So any questions?
How serious is Brees' knee, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's his knee. He just banged it. Yeah, we'll know throughout this week, if he'll be able to play. But he just banged, I think, on that play went out of bounds. Yeah.
Will you stay with Brady, or have you given Hendon any,
Brady be our quarterback.
Where's Tyrod? His status? Is he back with the team?
Tyrod had a personal deal, and he's back with the team right now.
What is the reason you started Brady Cook at quarterback?
Because I want to give him another chance to go out there and play.
Does he give you the best chance to win?
He gives us the best chance to win.
Okay. AG, obviously, when you have seasons like this, people are kind of trying to extricate the positives. What would you say? There's a handful of guys on this team that have really kind of shown some things.
Well, overall as a team, and I said that at the beginning, is there are certain things that there was a huge emphasis for us as a team to see how we want to get better. In 24, I think we were last in the league as far as running the ball. I think in 23, we was in the bottom 10. And we got ourselves to where we were somewhere in the top 7 for right now. All right, so that was a huge emphasis, and I'm proud of the way our guys went about that, and Brees getting 1,000 yards. Also, we were dead last in the league when it came to penalties for 2 years straight. And this year, I think we're somewhere between 17, so that's a huge improvement for our guys. And then also, as far as special teams, we've become one of the elite special team units, right, across the league. And not just that, even on some of the small detailed things that people really don't look at, and that's on our field goal block, the field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks on our field goal. This year, we had no blocks, and we were at about 98%. So as far as field goal, so those are some things that there was a huge emphasis from the very beginning. And I know there's some things that we have to clean up, and as we go forward, those are some things that we're looking at, and that's defense and really our passing game on offense.
In terms of a particular personnel player, like what do you make of what Briggs has done with his opportunity this year, and what were your expectations versus what he's been doing?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that I can look at when we talked about that, and Briggs is one of them. When he came in, I think he was known as just a true run stopper, and he's done a really good job of that. But he's shown he has a knack for actually rushing the passer also, and it's in his own way. All right, but he's been pretty disruptive in that. I think Malachi is a rookie. I think he's done some good things. And each week, he just continues to improve. Obviously, Brees getting his first 1,000-yard season. that was huge. The offensive line, the way they operate, for us to be where we're at as far as run defense, that was an improvement also. I can go on and on with some of these guys, but again, I'm just looking at the team goals that we want to emphasize early in the year, and I think those are some things that we actually did well with.
Obviously, you oversee everything.
Yep.
And you're talking about everything, but your background is defense. When you see the defense you guys have put on the field this year, how does that sit with you, and what needs to change?
It doesn't sit with me well at all. And there's a number of things that need to change. And from now going into the offseason, going into next year, I mean, that's going to be a huge point of emphasis for us. Not just that, with our passing game also on offense. Those are two things that that I'm really looking in closely to make sure we get those things changed. So if we can get those things changed along with the improvements that we already have, I think that'll look fairly well for us.
How much of a relief would just if you could just get an interception on that day, just to end that whole thing?
I just want to take away. You know, if it's an interception, it's a fun. But I understand exactly what you're asking. I mean, it's part of who I am as being a defensive back. But just getting a takeaway, going out there competing, playing good football against a good team. That's what I'm worried about.
When you look at film, is there any common denominator as to why you got knocked out of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Here's what I will say, and coverage discipline really leads to a lot of picks. And our coverage discipline hasn't been where it needs to be. I mean, it's been up and down. But for the most part, that's something we got to clean up. And our guys know that, you know, because usually when you have it, those picks usually come.
You referred to, I think it was Sunday or Monday, that there's some things that the outside can't that have improved. Is there any example you can give for those on the outside?
Well, I just said one about the field goal block. I mean, that's,
on the field, right?
yeah.
Is there stuff like in the building that you're seeing like that?
You know what? Yeah, that's a good question. No doubt. That's a good question. I think our guys really understand exactly what we're trying to create, and they see the things that I just talked about. And when I talk about a brand of play that we want to have, they see those brand. Now, the whole brand hasn't shown up because defensive we haven't did the things that we want to do. But we want to be to run the ball physically and violently. We want to play good defense, and we want to be really good on special teams. So we know that some of those things have come together, but just the defensive part is something that we have to pick up. So that's that brand of football that the outside world really don't know what that is because I really don't talk about it a lot. That's really part of it.
When the season's over, obviously you're going to do a lot of evaluating of
Yep.
coaches, players. Chris, how do you go about evaluating yourself and the things you did this year in the first year?
That's a good question. Number one, how have I operated when it comes to game management situations? That's the first thing I want to look at. Also, hiring process, picking players, like all those things. Are we really getting? Are we really actually doing the things that we say we want to do as far as how do we want to build this foundation of players, of coaches, of how to operate in game? Like all those things I try to evaluate. And doesn't mean that I did the wrong thing. No, it's just I sit back and look at it and make sure I'm doing the right things. I mean, there's some things I know I have to clean up, no doubt. But there are other things I want, okay, did I go about this the right way? Okay, yeah, I did. I'm good. Let's go on to the next one.
Couple more. Typically, when you look with a coach is 3-13 on a
Yep.
4-game losing streak, and this comes with the territory. The coach
Yep.
always gets asked about his job security. I'm
Yep.
just wondering what your mindset is as you approach this final game, in terms of Woody's confidence in you and your confidence, where things stand.
How do I beat the Bills? That's what I'm thinking about.
That's it.
That's it.
There's been a little bit of a body work for Brady, and there's a reason you're obviously probably looking to the future with him.
Yep.
Have you seen enough in him the last few games to think that he's backup worthy next year, so to speak, or what are you seeing in him?
I would like to look at that. Yeah, I would like to look at it at the end of the season. I mean, he still has another game left. So we'll see what happens with this game and see how he operates.
Last one.
We talk about the offensive line as a whole and everything.
Yep.
When you look at these two guys on the end,
Yeah.
two young guys and everything like that, do you see them here for a long time? Like those are guys that you want to build around at the tackle spot?
First round picks, guys that had a damn good year in my opinion. Absolutely, you do. But as the year goes, you never know how those things go. But absolutely, anytime you have draft picks of that magnitude, absolutely you want to see them here for 10, 12 years.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.